Hey guys, welcome back. Josh from the Redneck Homestead channel here. Well, we came up to the cabin yesterday and I shot you a quick video giving you kind of a tour of the driveway being dried out. And I was able to assemble the video on my cell phone and upload it when we went into town for dinner. A couple of videos ago, you'll remember that I was talking to you about how the turbo in the excavator was beginning to make a bit of a whistle, and that was caused by some holes in the exhaust. Well, today is the day that we're going to fix that. So come along for the ride. We'll take the old exhaust out and replace it. So here are the most expensive exhaust parts I've ever bought. Well, I've said this before, and anyone who owns any heavy equipment knows that when something goes wrong, it goes wrong in increments of $1,000. Nothing happens on these machines that only cost 50 bucks or 20 bucks. Nothing's that simple. What I'm replacing here is the muffler and the muffler extension pipe here, which, if you can believe it, this little piece of 2.5 inch, I think it's 2.5 or 3 inch pipe, I don't even know, was $112 freaking dollars. Can you believe that? That pipe, if you bought that at a hardware store, not bent like this, would only be $4.50, maybe $5. This clamp here was like $50. That's a simple U-bolt. That's what happens. These equipment manufacturers have the corner on the market, and although there are some aftermarket parts you can buy, it's hit or miss. So what I figure I'm going to do here is I'm going to paint these parts with some high temp wood stove paint that's resistant up to 1200 degrees. And I think that that's going to give us a little extra protection. There is drip and drainage and water from rain and what have you that is going to undoubtedly hit these parts. And you know, the reality is I probably won't own this machine for the next 15 years, so I won't need to do this, but I might as well pass on the pay it forward, I guess, and paint this for the next owner. Alright, the muffler and the extension pipe are all painted and it came out very nice. It's a nice flat stove black finish. Not that we're going for aesthetics here. It's a muffler. Who are we kidding? But my hope is just to fend off some of the elements, I guess you might say. I got the end caps here. I actually went into the throat of the muffler itself. The tailpipe, I guess. So that was the easy part. The hard part's going to be removing the old equipment, freeing up all those rusted bolts, making sure we don't break anything, and prepping the site for the fit up of the new equipment. To prepare, we're going to need to take this plate off here, this deck plate. There are 4 15mm bolts, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Well, after a pretty short fight, not too hard actually, I was able to get this old muffler removed. This is the piece of junk I was working with. Look at this. The baffle was totally rusted out, and the point at which it attached to the exhaust muffler extension pipe totally rotted off. Check it out. That's the actual exhaust. And you can see the air, the daylight right through that pipe. This is really bad. I hope we didn't do any damage to the turbo. Look at this hodgepodge of patchwork. This thing is totally split, and it was patched up by some, I don't know, looks like sheet material bound up with some wire, baling wire. This is ridiculous. Can't believe I didn't get to this earlier. All right, all the baling wire's off. Let's take this freak show cover off and see what happens. Wow. Wow. This is shameful. This is absolutely shameful. I can't believe the previous owner would let it go this far. In fairness to him, he did tell me that there were a couple of, quote, small and minor holes in the exhaust. But I never thought I would see this underneath. This is shameful. He should be ashamed of himself. I've been known to hodgepodge some repairs together and to redneck things together, but I wouldn't even dream of this. Well, no turning back now. Let's fix it. Alright, so I've gotten the old muffler completely removed, the old extension pipe completely removed, and I've gotten it decoupled from the turbocharger, and the turbo is spinning freely. So that should mean that it's fine, and hopefully that's the case. So now what we need to do is we need to fit this new equipment up onto the turbocharger all the way back to the muffler. Now whenever you're fitting up hardware of any kind, I don't care if you're putting together a computer, an engine, or working on hydraulics, or just doing something around the house, a good rule of thumb to practice is always fit things up from the immovable parts back to the movable parts. Starting with the turbocharger, it is totally immovable. I mean, it's mounted on the engine and we're not doing anything with it. And I've just go back to some of my earlier videos and we talk about, and I take you on a tour through replacing a turbocharger on an excavator. It's not fun. So thankfully we don't need to do that here. But the turbocharger is not moving. So we need to fit up the extension pipe to the turbo, and then we will couple the extension pipe to the muffler because we have all the movement and all the play that we need on this muffler. So we'll start here and work our way to the end of the system. All bolts and nuts are reefed down, torqued down. Isn't that just beautiful? The way it's supposed to look, right? I'm going to finish that seam off right here with some exhaust tape. And I don't think there's going to be any problem if I don't wrap it with exhaust tape, but why not? I have it. So before I clean up, I'm going to start the engine and let it run for a few and see how it does, see how it responds. Well, nothing's rattling. Everything sounds tight. It's pretty simple. And we know there's a lot more back pressure being supplied by the actual exhaust that's not rotted out. There's the auto idle kicking in. Yes, there's a lot more back pressure being supplied to the turbo now because we know that the exhaust gases are not being ejected prematurely from this extension pipe and from the collar between the extension pipe and the muffler. So I think we're in good shape. Let's finish putting the deck back together and we'll call it good. Well guys, thanks for taking the time to check out this video on how to replace an exhaust on my John Deere 690 ELC excavator. Now would be a good time, if you like this video, to give us a thumbs up. And it really helps me understand what kind of content you're looking for. And if you haven't already subscribed, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button. We'd love to have you on board for the adventure. We're going to be up here for a couple more days, and I'm going to take as much video as I can of the projects that we're working on, and I'm going to get the video uploaded to YouTube just as soon as I can. Thanks guys, and have a good one. See you on the next video.